Hey yo, what is up you guys? Y'all already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. What is that? What is that? What is that? Guess what? CIG happened to do a small little ghost drop onto us in starcitizen 4.1.1 in the PTU. They dropped a brand new weapon for us to play with in the verse. They dropped the Quartz SMG. They also happened to drop a few new colorways for the parallax assault rifle. The red Sengway, excuse me if I'm butchering that name, but it is a nice holographic style looking rifle. And then we also have the orange Sunstone rifle, which is adorned with that beautiful orange and black colorway, almost Halloween colors, really cool looking rifles. But since we have a brand new firearm at hand, you know I gotta treat this with typical fried chicken seasoning, you know that garlic palm, by reading this firearm's item description. Volt Quarts SMG utilizes exciting new weapon technology that fires a short-range beam that fractures into multiple beams the longer it fires, making it an extremely effective close-quarters weapon. Now let me tell you firsthand, this motherfucker right here slaps. As long as you're in that 20-meter range, you are downing literally everything. This weapon will dominate the contested zones as long as you're in that range. But hey, I know what you guys are all here for. Within typical fried chicken style, we're going to be running some tests with this rifle. I'd first like to give a huge shout out to a viewer who located me in the game named J-Boy.
Yes, that's the biggest bird in the verse. That's him.
Me and J-Boy had an agreement to meet up in a hangar and shoot the guns at each other to see how it performs against a player who was wearing heavy armor and to see how effective it is at range. The very first test that J-Boy and I ran was to see the cutoff point of the lightning bolt, to see what the distance is this thing can shoot in order to hit its target.
This is where it ends. So it's quite literally.
So be careful when you're using this rifle because at 50 meters, it is not going to hit your target no more.
Yeah, I'm literally just outside the range. I can see it. Watch this. Look. I'm not gonna be able to hit you. Just watch.
Just right outside the range. In the description, it says that the effective range is in between 10 to 20 meters. So please take that with a grain of salt when you're using this rifle because you don't want to be outside that range because the damage drop off is quite a lot. The next test we ran was a damage test to see how heavy armored players would fare against this thing within its 20-meter range. We first did a couple quick taps and then a battery discharge, and then we did a secondary battery discharge outside of its range. With quick taps within its range, every shot within range was dealing 7 to 13 damage per quick shot.
Oh shit, 18.
That was almost your whole life bar. Holding down the trigger just a little bit longer almost depleted J-Boy's entire health bar.
Yeah, that
real
thing is
close
strong.
and real quick. So let's see how long it takes for TTK for chest. So stay where you're at.
Alright.
The TTK within the Quartz 20-meter range is about 2 seconds to down a heavy armored opponent. The next test we ran was to see how much of a damage drop off this thing has at about 40 meters, which is 20 meters outside of its recommended range.
Yeah, we could do 30, or we could go full send and go 40 if you want.
Sure. Overheats hella fast.
It's a lot weaker at a longer distance. I'm at 7%.
So you heard the man himself. It didn't kill him at range, but again, I did miss quite a bit. We ran it a few more times and one of them was really good. I was able to get him down real quick and fast without too much hassle. Okay, I know I got you that time. So at a range, obviously the TTK is a little bit slower. This thing is powerful, but it overheats incredibly fast, so you really have to make sure your shots are connecting with your target. It is also pretty darn hard to see sometimes with this SMG, just because the lightning bolt can flare all over the place and it's kind of blinding at moments. So as you're using this thing, make sure you're being aware of how you're shooting it as well. Also, currently in the PTU, there is a slight little bug when it comes to optics with this SMG. For some reason, the optics and the lightning bolt beam does not line up sometimes. I'm using a 3x scope with this SMG, and sometimes I have to aim just a little bit higher just because the optics and the lightning bolt are not lining up. It's shooting lower than what the optics is portraying on my screen, so keep that in mind when you're deciding to add sights to this weapon. This thing is a lot of fun. It's a little different versus the actual parallax rifle, which can shoot way farther distances versus this thing. It's a lot of fun. It's strong, but it's also weak at the same time. If you're shooting outside of that 20-meter range, it's double paper plate. Doesn't do the justice that it needs to do. But if you're within that range, this thing absolutely wrecks. But let's switch it up a little bit now and go take down some NPCs in the contested zones. Let's head right on over to the checkmate station. So it is an absolute no-brainer that this thing literally fries its enemies. Like, just completely roasts them alive. Like, it just downs them so quickly and so easily. But again, the whole entire issue with this sight was a little detrimental for me, so I had to remove it because it was giving me the issue. Like, I don't know what to say. Did you see how fast those NPCs just dropped? As soon as they walked in front of me, I tapped the trigger and they're just down. Also, what is going on with this patch? For some reason, the NPC enemies in the contested zones are spawning back like within 3 minutes of killing them. Just absolutely mayhem, especially when you're going against an entire squad of heavy set armored NPCs. It's tough because they got me good, because I wasn't expecting them to respawn right behind me just that quickly as I was doing a little bit of mild looting. Again, aiming with this thing is a little difficult just because there's so much lighting effects that's going on that really does skew your vision as you're trying to kill your enemies. Also, currently in the PTU, there is a reloading bug going on right now where your gun will not automatically reload and you have to do it manually. Literally spawning in front of me. And boom. Overall, the Quartz SMG is a really cool piece of equipment. It does devastating damage as long as you're using it properly. If you're out of its range, then you know it's not nowhere near as good as it should be. But if you're within that range, it just decimates everyone in front of you. NPCs are just a joke when it comes to this, and it's a lot of fun to use. I've been running it in the contested zones now just for a little bit, tiny little bit in the contested zones, just to see what it can do against these heavy armored NPCs, and it does do work. I'm able to take them down before it actually overheats most of the time. But as long as you use this weapon within its parameters, this thing is an absolute joy. It's beast, it's fun, takes down NPCs really quickly, and it can also hurt players as well as long as you're within that 20-meter range. If you're outside of it, it's going to be a little bit harder, more of a slog than anything else. This firearm is also very easy to find. It is not hard at all. You're going to find it in the exact same location where you would find all the other parallaxes at, which is going to be at the alignment dishes or the Hawthorne OLPs. Make sure you keep an eye out because it's a lot of fun and they're real easy to find, and they come in 3 separate colorways. You got the white one, you got the black one, and then you got the green one. 4 colorways. The base paint, which is going to be blue as well. It's just a really cool looking piece of equipment. But hey, if you got this far into the video, drop a homie a sub, hit the like button because it pushed me up into the algorithm so more eyes are able to see me. Also, if you're interested in the Tobii eye tracker, I do have my affiliated links down below. If you happen to use that link, I get a little kickback for that for your efforts. But you already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, Big Bird, you already know. Fried chicken out.
Ah!